Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys. I hope you're all having a good weekend, hopefully a relaxing weekend, of course, given this is a transfer frenzy that Barca are involved with this summer, so enjoy every relaxing moment. But today, we're going to be talking about some of Xavi's pre-season preparations, the matches, of course, that are just on the horizon now for Barca, and especially as well, some of the things that Xavi is looking to try out, looking to implement here into this Barcelona group. And we are going to be looking at some of the futures of the players who are already here at the club. But of course as well, we're going to be talking about some of those who aren't, particularly Robert Lewandowski. Plenty of questions about his future and if and when we can expect him to become a Barcelona player. A full update coming, guys, and I hope you enjoy it today. So let's get to it. Because I do want to kick off today's video by talking specifically about the training, and especially the training that we are seeing here from Xavi Hernandez at Barca, because obviously we've seen double sessions, early morning ones, afternoon, late in the evening as well, all different times of the day, and every single minute is being utilised. And I don't know if you guys have been tuning into the videos on Barca's training sessions and looking there at some of the things that have been going on, but what I would like to say about that is it looks really intense. And right from day one here of pre-season, it is absolutely clear from Xavi that we're going to bring that real intensity. That's been something that since he arrived at the club as coach, he's been looking to bring back to this club. And I think especially with this extended period now, this pre-season, he can really stamp that home and get this squad prepared, not just to do it for one game, not just to do it there for 1 month, but to apply this level of intensity right the way through an entire season. And I think the training sessions are going to go to another level entirely. I think starting from next week now, we get the rest of those international players back into the Barcelona squad. Xavi will have all of the players there at his disposal. And I think as well then, when we go out to America to really begin and kickstart that pre-season tour, then as well, we're going to see some tactical work too. We're going to see Xavi really drilling these players, maybe trying out a few different things as well in terms of systems and structures of this team. And I think it's exciting. It's very fascinating to see what he can do now with his group of players in what's going to be the longest interrupted period he's had since he's come in as the Barca coach. And I think speaking indeed about that tour of the United States, which Barca are going to set off for next week, there have been a few early reports now in the media, following on basically from those players that we've spoken about before, that Xavi has told, you're not part of my plan. You know the ones that I'm talking about there, the likes of Mingueza, Titi, Ricky Puig, Braithwaite as well, and also Neto, players like that, who it's been made very, very clear to that they're not in Xavi's plans. He's told them that repeatedly, and it is being said here, unconfirmed, but a few rumours that Xavi now, when the team travel to America, he'll leave those players behind. They will not be present on the tour of the USA, and they're going to be told in no uncertain terms, ultimately, look for another club. Get your future sorted, because you don't have one here. The club right now are putting that message across loud and clear, and it will be very interesting to see who is on the plane for that pre-season tour. One player, though, who I do want to talk about in detail on that exact matter is Sergino Dest, because this right here is a player who we've heard quite frequently being linked away from the club. There's been debate as to whether Barca will cash in on him if an offer arrives, would they accept it, all of these different kinds of things. And most recently, it was a link to Chelsea. Chelsea apparently there have a long-standing interest in Dest, but he was not a player who was discussed when Chelsea and Barca met earlier on this week. He was not discussed at all in that meeting, and it appears right now, like more than ever, he's staying at Barca. This summer, he will remain part of Xavi's plans. That's the way that it looks right now. And even if Cesar Azpilicueta is signed, he will be, at the moment at least, in addition to Sergino Dest. He won't be coming in and replacing him. It'll be the two of them working together. And that, for me, that would be a good decision. Because I think last time out, last season, I think Dest improved as a Barcelona player. I think he did take, and he did have to take some time to convince Xavi. It didn't all come easily to him, but I did think that we saw some better displays from Dest, and of course there was a few injury problems which didn't help either. But I think the one thing about Dest that's often kind of forgotten about and put to the background is that he's still only 21 years old. And I think with Dest, at times we do forget that he is still a very, very young player. He's not the finished article. He is not the finished product, and to be honest, he's not supposed to be at this stage. And I do just wonder as well, if we bring in Azpilicueta, it's another experienced head there, isn't it? In that kind of role, just like it was last season Dani Alves was there alongside Dest, and all of this experience, all of these different kinds of players around Dest, that's got to help him. And I think you then have Dest, you'd have potentially Azpilicueta in that right back role, and then you probably use Sergio Roberto in the way that he should be used, in my opinion, as a squad player, as a utility player, somebody there who can play in several different positions, and he can help out when needed, but that's how you use him. You don't start him every single game, because those aren't really the aspirations that we have going forward, so he's there as that backup, with Dest staying at the club and maybe Azpilicueta coming in there alongside him. There's also been plenty of talk as well in midfield. Somebody we spoke about very, very recently on the channel, Nico Gonzalez. We were talking here, should he stay at the club or should he go out on loan this summer? Is he going to get enough game time? Is he going to have enough time there to develop in the way that he should be because of the talent that he has? But again, it appears right now he's a lot closer to staying than he is to leaving. Again, it's being reported there that Xavi, he's put his foot down on this one. He wants Nico involved in his squad. He counts on him. He feels as though he does have the talent and the quality to succeed in this team. And so much so that right now it is being said that Xavi will start Nico Gonzalez in that very first pre-season game on Wednesday, and he'll start him in the defensive midfield position. And there is a real chance right now, it's being said, that Nico, over the course of the coming season, he could be used there as a deputy for Sergio Busquets and as a frequent player used in that defensive role. And I think that's very, very interesting and intriguing to keep an eye on, because Nico did play at Barcelona B in that deeper role. He's very much comfortable there. He also played a lot there when he was coming through at La Masia. He's very, very accustomed to playing there. And of course, this is likely to be Busquets' last season. We've spoken about that a lot as well this summer. The fact that, we have to start thinking about the future. Now, I'm not saying guarantee that it's going to be Nico who's going to step into his shoes, but we need to do something. And we need to have plans in place here, and trying somebody there like Nico in that role. Of course, you've got Frankie as well. We know his future is uncertain, but I think right now, especially throughout pre-season, when you've got these younger players, when you've got these opportunities that you can give them, now's the time to try things. And Xavi will be having a really close look at Nico in that deeper role over these coming weeks. And speaking indeed about younger players, about talented players in this Barcelona team, I would just like to ask you guys a question here, because what exactly is now the future looking like for young Abde? What is going to happen to him? And I say that because what if Rafinha comes in? What if Dembele does indeed renew his contract at the club? You've then got Dembele and Rafinha ahead of him in the pecking order. Is there going to be enough game time there? Is there going to be enough opportunities in the first team for Abde this season? And if not, well, what do you do with him then? Because the one option, of course, would be dropping back down to Barça Athletic for the coming season, but they're still in the third tier. Is that where he should be developing right now? 20 years old, this is the time when he can be making that step up to the top tier, because there's also plenty of clubs out there who would take him on. La Liga clubs have been inquiring about him. If we were to look to send him out on loan, there are clubs there that could give him valuable playing time and experience. But what would you do if Rafinha was to come in, if Dembele was to re-sign? Does Abde have a future this season in the first team? Please do let me know your thoughts on that below. But if we do, now move on to Robert Lewandowski, because this is somebody here who, of course, plenty of questions I get all the time about Lewandowski. And to be honest, guys, it has been a bit on the quiet side. People are saying, look, what's happening? Tell us what's happening on Lewandowski. And it has been quiet. And I think that's kind of because Barca feel as though they've been waiting. They've been plotting in the background on this one. And I think, to be honest, we don't want to seem over-eager. We don't want to seem as though this summer we're solely dependent on signing Robert Lewandowski, because that's the last thing that you want to seem like in a negotiation. Because if Bayern think, they're desperate, they need him, they're counting on him, that price then, that fee for Lewandowski, it's only going one way, and that's going up. So we just tried to play it cool here, taking our time, not in any rush to keep making offer after offer. One thing that I would say as well, I've heard plenty of rumours over these past few days. They're linking Lewandowski again with Paris Saint-Germain. Apparently they're interested in signing him if he was available. But again, guys, don't read anything into that. Just like when it came out about Chelsea, it's all irrelevant, because as we know, Lewandowski, he wants one thing, and that thing, it's a move to Barca. He's been very clear on that. He's told his agent that. He's told Bayern that. He's told anybody who will listen. I only want Barca this summer, but When can it happen? Well, there have been plenty of reports in the German media on Saturday when it comes to Lewandowski, particularly there from Sport 1, because they say that Barca will indeed be making a fresh offer for him very, very soon. And when that offer comes in, Sport 1 say it's going to be getting really, really close to that 50 million fee. And not just any 50 million, but 50 million fixed. That's what Bayern have been so insistent on all the way through these negotiations. They don't want add-ons, they don't want variables, they want the money up front and guaranteed for Lewandowski, 50 million euros. And according to Sport 1, Barca's offer will get very, very close to that mark. And I think we have reached a point now in these negotiations where time is kind of the essence, because the timing of all this is starting to get really, really interesting, because on the one hand, Xavi would love to have Lewandowski available now, ready to make that trip to the USA at the end of next week. That's something that Xavi has always said to the club, please can you get Lewandowski in time to make that pre-season journey? The club know that, but also as well, there's Bayern's pre-season, which is also in the mind of Robert Lewandowski. He's always wanted to get this deal wrapped up before he has to go back on July the 12th, which is on Tuesday. So not much time there now before Bayern do begin that pre-season. Now, a close friend of Robert Lewandowski's recently came out and he actually cooled the rumours about a potential strike. He actually said, I don't really think that's going to happen. There was never a thought to go on strike from the side of Robert. So it seems like right now he would turn up to that training if he absolutely had to. If he had to be there in pre-season, he would be. But I think before that time, there's very key days now, very key hours to come in this deal, because all parties, I think, kind of want to avoid that situation whereby Lewandowski has to go back to the club where he doesn't want to be. He never really wanted to step foot inside of Bayern Munich once again. He's made that very, very clear. He was ready to leave it all behind and quickly, but it hasn't happened quite yet. Barca are readying that new bid. It's going to come in very, very soon. And when it does, will it be enough now to tempt Bayern? Well, only time is going to tell us. So that right there, guys, is the update right now when it comes to Barca. Plenty of thoughts right now about pre-season, about those preparations, about the training sessions from Xavi, and of course also so much speculation, so many different rumours coming out, all about the Barca transfer window. So please do let me know, guys, your thoughts on everything in the comments down below that we have discussed in today's video. Thank you, as always, for all of your support, for the incredible comments, and for each and every one of you tuning in once again today. I will be back soon with plenty more videos to come. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!